I moved to Leeds in the end of October 2008, so I have almost 4 years working for the British Weightlifting and 2 or 3 years with most of the guys who are in the Olympic team. I have a quite long past in weightlifting. I started when I was 13 and I finished the active lifting when I was 41. And I started coaching when I was 20 with little kids, and I coached Hungarian national team, several clubs. Then I moved to Latin America, so I worked as a head coach of the national team, El Salvador, 4 years in Latin America. Then I moved to Norway and I worked with the national team for 2 years, and then I was voted as a president of the Hungarian Weightlifting Federation. So after 3 years, we met with British Weightlifting, or World Class Lifting was that time, and finally we decided to work together. So it was even a surprise for me. And also I have another activity. I'm giving coaching lectures around the world in several languages, and I did about 25 or 26 countries so far. So this is some side product of mine, and also I have some publications, books, etc. So my whole life is weightlifting. Putting the uniform and going to the stadium, and there was a crowd with thousands of young kids and people. So it never happened to me in this way. When we entered in the stadium, it's amazing. So this is a moment which I will never forget in my life. And I said to God up there that thank you God, I could be there and I could be part of it. So it's just amazing. I can't tell you that the organization was perfect or not, because of course it was perfect. It was just wonderful. It's obvious. It should be. I think they did an enormous and wonderful work. And I will see in the TV the whole show, because we haven't seen anything, but it was a great experience. I can't explain it. Just believe me or not, I felt British. Meanwhile, I'm Hungarian, but I felt British when I started the whole thing. Zoe is an exceptional athlete in any meaning, physically, mentally. It's very, very difficult to not push her so hard, because it's so obvious that let's do more and more and more and more. So we don't want to burn her out too quickly, or not to burn her at all, because it's so obvious that she can even train more, lift more, etc. So if you think about her long-term career, which is not Rio, is after Rio, or even the Olympic after that, then we have to accept that this is a fact anyway. Let's find the bright side of it. And this is part of her long-term physical, mental, psychological education. Tash is a very special case. I think that she is probably the oldest British team member, I guess. 37 years. She was 37 in the opening ceremony, which is a very unusual story. She left her home in Wales 3 years ago, came to Leeds to work with me. And since then, we are just making each other's life difficult every day. Sometimes we fight, sometimes we agree. It's very difficult to manage her. Of course, she has a very strong character. She is as motivated as 10 other athletes. And also because of her background, family background, she wants to do something really great thing because of her late father. So the other thing was that Tash was always pushed very hard since the beginning, and sometimes when she needs a half step back because of injury, because of tiredness, fatigue, etc., she doesn't accept it. It's a very, very positive attitude in a way. So we needed a lot of time to find out how we can work each other. She makes me work much more with herself than with other athletes. But this is not a bad thing. So I don't say that there's a bad thing. It's just this also made our relationship very, very different. Very different. So there is no another way. I have to spend more time around her than in the other athletes, mostly outdoor training as well. Also, what I see on training, and which makes me very, very proud, is the way of working. So she is ready to die on the platform every day, every day. If there's a pain, she doesn't care until she's done. This is sometimes difficult to manage, but it's as her attitude, her motivation is just exceptional, believe me. So, of course, I'm very proud of her. But it doesn't mean that that a coach cannot have a favorite athlete, a less favorite athlete. No, just each athlete needs different treatment. That's why we have to have a kind of coaching rule game. I work in a different way. I talk in a different way to jack, and I use a different way to touch or gas, etc. If you really want to have the athletes, you are competing with them. So if I never tried to check my blood pressure or my heart rate during the competition, but it's worse when I was competing even in worst level and went to the stage, the critical situation. And when my athletes, because you can't help, I know they can do that, but there are several factors which can make it difficult. I can't help, so that makes the moment so tense. So this is my way of handling this tension. The other thing is that athletes need their own support. So this is why I do the support, and since then we started working together. The guys are quite okay with that. They never said that I do it wrong. I had some very good feedback, so I think it's a good thing that they accepted this, and I think it's in several times is quite helpful for the athletes.